If you want to improve your perio treatment conversions, then this video is for you. I will show you as a dentist how I use dental photography, animations and x-rays to explain perio to my patients. Let's jump straight into it. So the first part is the history, and we must understand the patient's oral hygiene routine and lifestyle. You need to find out how many times a day they brush, if they use an electric or a manual brush, if they use any interdental brushes, if they have bleeding gums, if they smoke, if they have diabetes, the last time they saw a dentist or hygienist, and if they've ever been told that they've had gum disease. Of course, there's a lot more to a thorough history, but these are the specific questions relating to perio. Now, one vital thing I want to mention is before you get into the history or any of the technical dentistry, it's paramount that you spend time building rapport with your patient. From the moment you greet them with a cheering smile to the small talk you have into the surgery to elevating the conversation to something more endearing and personal, all of this is done purposefully to build the patient's trust in you. Without doing this, if the patient doesn't trust you, they won't value what you have to say, which is an improvement in their oral health. The next part is an intraoral examination, and when I carry out a BPE, for a BPE of 1 or 2, I will say out loud to my nurse, bleeding, swollen gums, score 1, and for a BPE score of 3 or 4, I will say bleeding, swollen gums with deep pockets, score 3. This is because the patient is always listening, and by the time they sit up, they already know this is something that we will discuss. When the intraoral examination is completed, I will sit them up, take the necessary x-rays. Whilst the nurse is processing the x-rays, I will start taking intraoral photos. I say to the patient, whilst we're waiting for the x-rays, I'm going to take some photos of your teeth and gums. This will help me explain a few things. And if you guys need help with dental photography, make sure you check out our dental photography series. The link is in the description below the like button. The photos I take depend on each case, but for perio, I mainly take intraoral shots with retractors to highlight the inflamed gums and a lower lingual shot to highlight calculus. I then take out the SD card, put it in the computer, and load the photos on the patient record so we can look at them alongside the x-rays. And now this is where the big discussion happens. I always start by trying to simplify things as much as possible. I personally use Chairsyde, which is a whole bunch of animations for every treatment and condition you can imagine. And then I follow that up with the images and x-rays of the patient's own teeth. Now, let me show you exactly how I do it and the phrases that I say. But just before I do, we'd really appreciate if you guys hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. It really helps us to be able to share more content all around the world. So now that I have everything loaded up onto the computer, I would switch over to the photo of the anterior teeth. I would start saying to the patient, so as you might have heard me say before, currently your gums are in a bit of a poor condition. They're swollen, red and bleeding when touched. Let me show you exactly what's happening inside your mouth. And then what I would do is I would load the Chairsyde gingivitis animation. I would say to the patient, when the bacteria and germs stick on your teeth for a long period of time, they can cause your gums to get inflamed, red and swollen. And this is what's shown on the screen. Then I would move over back to the intraoral photo, and I'll say, eventually the bacteria goes from being soft to hard and sticks to your teeth. Your toothbrush is not going to be able to get rid of it. And then I'll show them their lower lingual shot. I would say to them, this is a photo of the inside surfaces of your bottom teeth. This is that hard, sticky bacteria which sticks to your teeth that I'm talking about. Then I would go ahead and load up the hygienist video on the Chairsyde app. And while I play this video, I would say to them, this is why we recommend all patients to see dentists or hygienists for a clean every 3 to 6 months. It's so that we can get rid of all this hard bacteria. Then I would load the periodontitis video. I would play the video and say, in your particular case, you haven't seen a hygienist for a long time, or you'd say to the patient, you haven't been brushing very well, or you haven't been using interdental brushes, or because you smoke, this hard bacteria has managed to go underneath the gums. And as you can see in this animation, it has been getting deeper and deeper, causing the bone, which holds your teeth, to slowly dissolve away. If this is to carry on, you could lose so much bone that your teeth would become very wobbly and eventually fall out. This is the whole process of gum disease, which you currently have. I would then show them the x-ray demonstrating the bone loss. This is the x-ray of your tooth, and as you can see, you've lost some of the bone holding your teeth together. I would expect this white bone to be at the neck of the tooth, right around here. But you've lost about 35% of the bone already. If this was to carry on, you're at a huge risk of losing all of your teeth due to gum disease. Then I would show them the periodontal animation treatment, so that's RSD. Now, to treat and prevent all of this from getting worse, we need to carry out gum disease treatment. Similar to the hygienist video I showed you earlier, we have to clean your teeth and remove all of that bacteria. This gets done on the teeth, but also underneath the gums where the bacteria has traveled. Once we do this, you have to go home and maintain a strict cleaning regime, which we will go through. If they're a smoker, I'd also say another big aspect, which is damaging your gums severely, is smoking. As a smoker, you're much more likely to be getting rapid gum disease Quitting smoking goes a long way towards preventing your gums getting worse. At this point, I would stop and ask the patient, I know I've mentioned a lot. Do you have any questions about all of this? Keep in mind that this isn't the only time I ask this question. This is constantly being asked to the patient at any opportunity where I feel like there's a natural pause. If I've lost them at any point, then this won't work. The idea here is to empower them with education and allow for them to feel as though the right answer is clearly to invest into their oral health. They will only value the extent of my efforts if they understand what I'm trying to explain to them. I answer all of their questions and then I ask them if this is something that they would be motivated to do, because it's a big commitment. At this stage, most people say, of course they're interested. Why would someone choose to risk losing all of their teeth? It doesn't make sense. At this stage, I would say, that's fine. All we need to do is book your next appointment with reception. To carry out this treatment, it's going to cost you X over 2 appointments. Is this going to be okay? If they say yes, then you instantly go back to building rapport. Don't ever let the last thing you talk about be money. Go back to talking about something that's more comfortable for them to talk about while you walk them to reception where they would book their next appointment. Now, let's say they say, whoa, that's gonna be way too expensive for me. I need to think about this. You reply with, look, I completely understand it's not cheap. In fact, a lot of my patients can't actually afford this. Always put them back into the position of comfort. Then say, unfortunately, there's no real alternative to sorting your gum disease out. And the longer we leave it, the more your bone will dissolve away. So you need to think about the social and financial consequences of deciding to do nothing. The consequences of leaving it would be to remove the teeth and replace them, right? This is unfortunately much more costly. What are your thoughts? And pause. At that stage, generally people turn around and say, yeah, that makes sense. But occasionally some people still don't see the value in the treatment that you're offering. At this stage, I would say, would it be easier for you to spread the cost over years? For example, if you were to spread the cost over 12 months, you could pay X amount a month. Is this something that would work for you, or would you need to spread it out more? Notice here I'm giving 2 options and none of them are not to go ahead with treatment. If for whatever reason they still don't value the treatment being offered, I would just recommend at a minimum a super gingival clean and regular checkups to monitor them before things get worse. Write down a note about what topic you're using to build rapport with them, and over the period of the next few appointments, build more trust until they finally value the treatment that you were initially recommending. And then finally, I would use the tracking feature on Chairsyde to send them a text and an email of some useful information and videos in relation to their gum disease. This means they can go home and really take the time to process the information by clicking on each of the treatments, which has a description, and some of them even have videos like this one that the patient can watch. As you can see on the consultation summary, I can change the text and I would usually tailor what I write down depending on the conversation I had with the patient. I also usually add the price in for the treatment here, and once the patient has opened the link and watched the video, Chairsyde tells me when they've done that and watched it. Chairsyde has been a game changer for patient understanding. If the patient understands the disease they are more likely to value the treatment offered. This isn't a sponsored video, by the way. We just love and believe in what Chairsyde does for our patients. If you want to check out Chairsyde, have a look in the link in the description. They might have some special offers running throughout the year if you use our link. As you can see, there's a lot that goes into each consultation. And imagine there being multiple diseases that you have to discuss. It takes a little while. This is why you need to have longer consultation times, but it really is worth it. And the patient feels as though what they had experienced at your practice, they never have or never will experience at another dental office anywhere else. This is something that builds loyalty. I really hope this video has helped you improve how you explain gum disease to your patients. In summary, it comes down to 3 main visual aids to excellent communication: the patient's x-rays, high quality images taken from a camera so that you can show the patient what the problem is, and finally the use of Chairsyde. If you found this video useful, please feel free to press the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. We'll be releasing more of these how I explain style videos for different diseases, so keep an eye out for that as well. We hope to see you soon, guys. Take care, bye.